Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Just a reminder that this is one video in a series of videos that I've designed for materials writers. It lasts quite a bit longer than my normal videos, which are short 1-minute videos. These videos for materials writers could be between 5 and 10 minutes, and they're looking at different aspects of materials writing. If you're a teacher that likes to write your own materials, or you're already a materials writer, you may find tips and ideas here that are helpful, but the videos take a little longer than normal. I hope you find the next one useful. It's looking at text analyzers that are free online. So you can take a piece of text and you might think it's B1 level, but there are free to use text analyzers online that will tell you for certain what level the word is. Although when you watch this video, you'll see that even some of the text analyzing sites can't agree on what is a B1 or a B2 word. Anyway, see what you think. Alright, so let's look at some of the text checkers out there. These are tools free to use, many of them at a certain level online, some of them from the major publishers, some of them from other sources. And they basically help you analyze the level of a text. So if we look first of all on my screen here, you'll see I've got the beginning of a text which is on the topic of extreme weather, and it's written in very authentic high-level English. Now, intuition and experience would tell me which words are going to be above level. So if I wanted to adapt this text to work with, say, B1 level students, I probably scan through and I think, well, words like to soar, or what other words? Tornadoes, the phrase loss of life. Those kinds of words and phrases are probably going to cause those B1 students some difficulty. But I can't say for absolutely certain when I think in terms of, say, CFR levels. And we're talking about, things like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Can I say precisely, without checking it, what level a word is going to be? And it's very simple. If I copy this text, the Oxford Learners Dictionary site will let me put the text into their text checker. So I cut and paste it into the box. I click text, check text, and it gives me a very nice visual readout of the text. And I can see the first sentence, there's been a change in the weather. It's all A1 level vocabulary. But then I get to a word like extreme in the second sentence, and it's an A2 word. Let's find the word to soar. To soar is purple, so it's a C1 level word. So I was right. I am going to have to change that word if I want to use this with B1 students. Interestingly, if I take a phrase like loss of life, well, the word loss is B1 level, of life is A1 level. But of course, text checkers like this don't deal with chunks, so the loss of life is a particular type of expression or chunk, which actually is kind of slightly higher level. So that's the only danger with these kind of word tools. You've still got to use them carefully. It'll give you other information. If I click on the results, I get a nice graphic readout of what percentage of words in the text are A1 or A2 and so on. So that gives me an indication of what level of student I might be able to use this text with. Oxford TextChecker also has a nice feature with activities where you can create your own word list with it, but you can also create an exercise. So if I take that text and I click on exercise, if I highlight certain words, I mean, obviously I'd do this more systematically if I was preparing my material. I can click on the words, then create an exercise, and it could create me an exercise where it shows the missing words in the box, and then I can just export it to my text. So it's a little gap filling tool. It will also create me an exercise which just, instead of showing the words in the box, it shows the missing letter, the first letter. So it's like an automatic gap fill creator. So nice little feature. I like the Oxford TextChecker a lot. And there's a lot more on that site connected with the Oxford 3000 words, but that's for another video and another time. You can take a look at it. Similar tool, not from a publisher, is Vocab Kitchen. You can, again, for free, but they base their profiling on vocabulary lists connected with CFR, the academic word list, and so on. Again, put in the text. I can click the CFR button and it will give me a CFR readout. And again, we see the word saw there, C1 level, and words like states and loss. In fact, it puts loss at higher B2 than the Oxford TextChecker, which I think put it as B1. So again, you have to kind of, it's worth checking your text in a few different places and also using your own intuition and thinking about, well, what do my students already know? All of these things are important. Another site you could use is the Cambridge EnglishProfile.org site. It allows you to investigate the level of vocabulary, but also it's kind of interesting, unlike some of the others, it also allows you to look at grammar and consider what level the grammar is in the text. So if you're using passive forms in a text, you can actually go to the English profile site and analyse the grammar structures to see what CFR level they might be. So the English profile site, again, very good. Let's take a look at one more text from using a text analyzer from a publisher. Pearson has the easy to remember URL english.com. If you're not familiar with the global scale of English from Pearson, it works in a slightly different way to the CFR levels because it's numbered, I think, from 0 to 90 or something like that. But they've created their own sort of scale of English, but it is mapped to CFR. So you can, for example, it will tell you if a student places at B1 or a text is B1 level, it will give you an indication of whether that student is at the lower end of B1 or the higher end of B1, because obviously within that B1 scale there can be quite a variety of levels. So this is what the global scale of English is trying to do. And visit the website, have a look around. But again, it has its own text analyzer. Like the other sites, you'd copy and paste your text there and it would analyze it, but it would give you a readout according to the global scale of English. There are other websites that will do this kind of thing. Another website called Text Inspector, take a look. And if you've got other suggestions for similar text analyzing sites, why not put them into the comments that follow, that are below this video. Hope that was helpful. I am going to return to the topic of adapting and writing text towards level. And we've got to be careful, it's not just about identifying single items of vocabulary by level. Rewriting text to adjust them to the levels more complex than that, but it was something I'll come back to in a later in a later video. This is just an overview of some of the sites that will help you test the level that are out there.